And just like that, the impending washout never materialized today at the Big A, working almost like the Zamboni machine at the Garden on the main track here as we started the Thursday program at 12:20. Overcast, a bit blustery, a little on the warm side. And just like that, Mig, we are dry in the studio, and the horses and jockeys were dry outside today. The rain never really showed up.
No, maybe just a light mist towards the end of the day. And, you know, listen, we need some rain at some point, but it's been really good, and the racing's been good. I thought some real competitive races today.
And that was the silver lining in talking about the racing conditions and certainly field size. 4 turf races on today's card. We got them in. We saw some good finishes. By the way, Richard Migliore, Jason Blewitt, glad you're with us here on this latest edition of Aqueduct Insider and a little international flair, Mig, starting things off in talking about Victor Espinoza and Silvestre de Souza. These guys are hitting the road for a jockey championship December 9th in Hong Kong. What's the story?
Yeah, Hong Kong Jockey Championship, always a good time. They get the best of an international cast of riders. Obviously, Victor Espinoza. He needs no introduction. He's representing the United States. And de Souza is representing Great Britain, which he was leading rider this year in England for the entire year. And we've got him right here at Aqueduct. So how deep is this colony? We got the leading rider from England fighting for mounts with some of the best.
And they'll treat you well over there. That's got to be just a grade 1 top-class red carpet rolled out for all those riders competing at Hong Kong.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to compete in the Hong Kong Jockey Championship in 2008, and they roll out the red carpet for you. It's a great time. Even after the event, it's night racing at Happy Valley in the city. We go upstairs. There's a big party. They really roll out the red carpet. And Bill Nader, who is a dear friend and runs Hong Kong Jockey Club, really showed me around and made it a very special trip.
All right, as we come home to the United States, in fact, we'll stop in a way at a little training center in the heart of Lexington. Your Breeders' Cup Sprint winner, Run Happy, I guess oblivious to all the nonsense, the drama, the lawsuits. He actually had his first BC Sprint post-workout today, going a half mile.
Yeah, it's a shame that all this human drama surrounded Run Happy, and I think in some ways overshadowed this Herculean effort in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Didn't break well, had to come from just off the pace, which isn't his normal style. And he proved that he is the real deal. I just hope his connections don't get too much in his way.
And a new trainer from the Breeders' Cup Sprint runner-up finisher in Private Zone. We talked about it a bit on Sunday before we said goodbye. Brian Lynch will be seemingly the 12th or 13th trainer to run this multiple Grade 1 winner who hopes to join Congaree as a repeat winner of the Cigar Mile here this Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Well, he's changed conditioners quite a bit, but there's been a few constants. One is that he shows up and runs hard every single time, one of my favorite horses in training. And his rider, Martin Pedroza, is a guy that just seems to know Private Zone very intimately. He can be a little bit tricky. He knows he needs some company. He almost holds him up and waits for that fight. And you know that he's a guy that rides hard every time, much like Private Zone, who runs hard every time.
Yeah, that's rarefied air. Nearly 30 years of history with the Cigar Mile, and Congaree in 02 and 03 is the only horse good enough to win back-to-back editions. Tonalist, Mashawish, Red Vine, and the field seems to be growing by the day. That is one heck of a way to put the Grade 1 exclamation point on this circuit for 2015.
Yeah, it's always a terrific weekend. A lot of great stakes. I always laugh, though, they have the fall high weight on Thanksgiving Day. I guess as a nod to the riders that have to make weight, they should have it the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and we're starting early Friday and Saturday, so I feel for those guys. I really do. First race post, 11:50 a.m. That'll be the story Thursday, Friday, and, of course, Cigar Mile Day with Private Zone leading us off. In fact, we'll try to go as fast as Private Zone as we head to the Aqueduct backstretch and get things underway in race number 3. In fact, it's the turf course at a mile and a 16th. John Abrial with the call. These fillies are mares in Thursday's third.
Pass along with a Royal Jest, and from the outside there goes Kathy's Humor. Royal Jest with the lead, and Morris Pass is racing in second. Kathy's Humor in third. Devious Matty down at the rail racing fourth. Run to Mama on the extreme outside in fifth, with Somersault next in sixth. And Graceful Gal runs in seventh. The favorite, Swear By It, is on the outside of Courage Is a Majority towards the back of the pack. The two trailers, Casey Lauren and Viva Malala. The opening quarter mile in 23 and 4/5 seconds, and now the field is on the back stretch. And it's Royal Jest, the leader here, by 3/4 of a length. Morris Pass continues to press in second. Devious Matty down on the inside in third, with Run to Mama in fourth. Kathy Schumer is fifth, 4.5 from the front. Then Somersault. Alongside is Graceful Gal. And then comes Courage is a Majority. Swear by It at this point still has only 2 horses beaten, and that's Casey Lauren and Viva Malala. The half in 48 and 4/5 seconds as they go around the far turn. Royal Jest by a neck. Morris Pass on the outside. Devious Matty is down at the rail with Run to Mama running up on the outside from fourth. Then comes Somersault and Kathy's Humor. Farther back, Courage is a Majority. Graceful Gal and Swear by It. Down towards the inside is Casey Lauren. Far outside, here comes Kathy Schumer now, up to challenge Morris Pass for the lead. Kathy Schumer, Morris Pass. Kathy Schumer takes the lead. Morris Pass in second, and Kathy Schumer wins it. A photo for second between Morris Pass and Somersault.
The big odds-on favorite, Swear by It, never really in the hunt. We've got some big payouts coming your way, including a dime super that paid over 2 G's. Nice effort and victory from the 8, Kathy's Humor.
A real nice effort and a real nice ride by Luis Saez. We commented about it all summer, how well he rides the turf course. Well, he picked up right on this Aqueduct turf course where he left off all through the summer at Saratoga and Belmont. But Kathy's Humor, I think back to his sire, just enough humor. Kieran McLaughlin trainee, who was a bit tricky to train. I remember working him one day down in Ocala when he had moved over to Godolphin. But she certainly looked good on the racetrack and performed well.
And he hit his best stride at Saratoga, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a 4-star Dave and Baruch winner one summer when he really, really got good for Kieran, right?
Yeah, I believe you're right. I think he took that double, and Kieran did it also with a horse named Trademark as well, Bernard Baruch, as well as a 4-star.
And he was a real powerhouse, Trademark. Wish he could have stuck around a bit longer than he did. And I think with Kathy's Humor, just wrapping it up for Rick Viollet Jr., she can dirt as well, and she might be primed for a big winter on the inner track going forward for Mr. Rick Viollet. As we go forward, race number 6 will kick off Thursday's late pick 4. Cloudy skies, but again, little drizzle here and there, but overall, none of the heavy stuff came down. Let's send it to the backside and back up to John and Brielle.
And they're off. Rockford out for the lead. Escapist came away next in second. Great Attack is third. Far outside is Castaway in fourth. Then Narvaez in fifth. Past the dice down at the rail. Runs in sixth. Then Matoris is the trailer in seventh as they head up the backstretch. Rockford is the leader here by a length. Escapist giving chase in second with Great Attack towards the rail in third. Then it's the gray, Narvaez. And on his outside is Castaway. Then comes Past the Dice. The quarter in 24 seconds. At the back of the pack is Matoris. They're midway on the turn. Rockford the leader. The lead's down to a neck. Escapist is right alongside. Castaway runs in third. Great Attack just in behind the front runners in fourth. Narvaez is fifth, followed by Past the Dice and Matoris. And the half was running 47-1. And now they come into the stretch. And it's still Rockford the leader here. Rockford in front now by 2. Great Attack down at the rail. Then Escapist. Narvaez has come up now. And on the far outside, it's Past the Dice. There's a 16th to the wire. It's Rockford by 3. Rockford took the lead right from the start and goes wire to wire for the win. Narvaez second, then Past the Dice and Escapist.
That's how you ride a speed horse. Joel Rosario. School was out. Session closed right to the point with Rockford, and nobody ever got close at 6:20.
Now let him bounce away from there. You could just see how comfortable he got. And it was a perfect example, Jason. It's not how fast you're going. It's how you're going fast. You get in that sweet rhythm. Joel Rosario, just such a pretty rider. When he gets together with a horse like that, he's fun to watch finish. And I thought a real nice effort by the 2, Narvaez, to round out the exacta. Good-looking horse for Steve Posaris.
Off the claim for Steve, and I would say that horse took a step forward. In fact, was third last time out behind Rockford in the slop at Belmont. I think he's a bit better on a fast track. Rockford, in the meantime, off the claim for Bruce Levine, seems to run over anything, and Bruce has got a good team working with them, including Bernardo Callejas and assistant trainer Mike Tenuzzo. Joel looking pretty good in those Rapoli blue and orange silks, and there is Mr. Bruce Levine, who still uses a flip phone. Took it out in the winner's circle. I nearly dropped my iPhone. Let's see his phone real fast. Did it already disappear? All right. We cover all the angles on the show. We'll have more Mig, more Jason, and more of those guys after a quick timeout.
Now you can enjoy your favorite pro and fantasy football teams while playing the races in style, as Longshots welcomes back NFL Sunday Ticket. With over 400 HD TVs, 270 individual carols, a full-service sports bar and food menu, Longshots is the place to catch all the great racing and football action. So come on out, bring your friends, bring your league to Longshots, located on the second floor at Aqueduct.
We've anointed Rajee Mirage the best laugh on the track. There's the best smile. Young Angel Cruz set for another winter on the inner track. Good to have him back and make a case of Angel being a journeyman now. We'll talk more about him in just a few seconds. We want you out here. Cigar Mile Day, the big Thanksgiving weekend at Aqueduct Holiday Fest. $40 buy-in. They were fun at Saratoga. They were popular at Belmont. We're bringing them 8 miles west down the Bell Parkway to the Big A. But in regards to Angel Cruz, as the Mig and Jason welcome you back to Aqueduct Insider, a case of maybe a positive, getting the lay of the land last winter as a bug in regards to connections in the inner track and all that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, he's made such a good impression with so many people because he's got a great attitude. He can ride. He's got the physical ability. He's an athlete. We saw him win the Jockey foot race in Saratoga. I just really like him, and I think he will have a good winter. Unfortunately, he was building up a little bit of momentum in Saratoga when he broke his hand. He's all healthy now, and we'll be seeing him in the winner's circle.
All right, he's got a few rides, in fact, coming up on this show, but let's send it back up to the man who's mic'd up and ready to go. Race number 7, John Imbriale will have the call as we switch off back to the turf, and let's see what happened in the opening leg of the final pick 3.
And they're off. Spin cycle from the rail. Boilermaker from the outside. Boilermaker and Spin Cycle, they're right together. What a Wonderful World sits behind in third, with Deary on the outside in fourth. Then it's Pagan next in fifth, followed at the rail by Inside Straight, a gap of 4. Summer Candy is the trailer in seventh. They move around the clubhouse turn. Spin Cycle, the leader, by a little more than a length. Boilermaker's in between horses. What a Wonderful World down at the rail, and Deary on the outside. And the quarter was running 24-3 as they head up the back stretch. Spin Cycle by 2 lengths. Boilermaker in second by a half length. Deary on the outside, third by a head. What a Wonderful World is fourth. Then a length and a half to Pagan in fifth, followed by Inside Straight, and farther back is Summer Candy. Spin Cycle by 3/4 of a length over Huge Long Shot Boilermaker. The opening half mile in 49 2/5 seconds. It's Spin Cycle, the leader, with Boilermaker racing in second. Deary on the outside now makes a move from third. What a Wonderful World has had a wonderful trip so far down on the inside and is fourth. And then it's Pagan. Inside Straight will be forced wide. Farther back is the trailer Summer Candy as the field now comes into the stretch. It's Spin Cycle, Boilermaker. Here's Pagan on the outside. What a Wonderful World is down at the rail. And Inside Straight is coming on late. Here's What a Wonderful World now to take the lead. Then it's Spin Cycle on the outside, Inside Straight, followed by Summer Candy. What a Wonderful World. A 2.5 length winner, close for second between Inside Straight and Spin Cycle.
How do you like that? Ground-saving trip, Mig. You talk about saving ground. If you're not going to do it on both turns, you better do it on one. And Jose Lezcano rode a perfect race on What a Wonderful World.
Yeah, he really did. Jose's been riding terrific, winning at a very high percentage. And he got a perfect trip. And what a wonderful call from John Imbriale. I mean, he picked up early on What a Wonderful World's trip and called it out. And basically, he was telling people he was the danger from about the 3/8 ball.
And easy to spot Silks with Gary Barber, who's built himself up a nice international, or at least national operation. He's got horses at Woodbine, California, nice string here in the Big Apple. Mark Cassie, one of your old buddies, the winning trainer. And that New York bred is okay. A disappointing effort in the meantime from Pagan, who just had no real response as the big even money chalk. Race number 8, I thought was the best race on today's card. We'll finish things off on the main track with a big field of fillies and mares. Some recent maiden breakers, a key layoff horse for Chad Brown. There were numerous layers on display, and we'll check out the run down the backside to the wire as we go back up to Johnny I.
Now takes the lead. Then it's a Alliteration and Sweet Polly Purebred. Blewitt on the outside, a close-up fourth. True Romance now comes through down at the rail from fifth. Break of two. Rachel's Temper is now back in sixth. Then it's Il Mulino in seventh. A break of almost 4 lengths to Equilateral and Scataway. And Predicate is the trailer in 10th. The quarter 23 and 4/5 seconds. Know It All Anna by 3/4 of a length over Sweet Polly Purebred. Blewitt and True Romance, their heads apart, third and fourth. Rachel's Temper, extreme outside in fifth. She's followed by Alliteration in sixth. And then Il Mulino and Scataway. They come into the stretch. The half was running 47 and 3. And here's Blewitt now to take over the lead from Know It All Anna. And Blewitt steps away to lead by 3. Then Rachel's Temper, Know It All Anna, followed by Scataway. Equilateral is down at the rail. But no doubt about this winner, it's Blewitt. And she was much the best. 1 by 5. Rachel's Temper second. Then Know It All Anna and Scataway.
This went from a race on paper where I thought 5, 6, 7 fillies had a right to hit the wire together to a one-horse race as Blewitt just pulverized this group.
Yeah, she really did. I mean, she streaked through the stretch, really finished the deal. And I guess the sloppy effort last time was the reason she ran so poorly. She rebounded in a big way on a fast track and gives you the impression that there are bigger things in her future. And certainly with Shug McGahee at the helm, you know she's going to continue to improve.
No question about it. Far from an unfinished product. And speaking of things being unfinished, although he is no longer standing and no longer alive, I go back to Unbridled Song, the sire of Blewitt, and how he has changed, at least in the last quarter century, the breed. And his mark will be felt for generations down the line.
Oh, absolutely. And it seems to me like his fillies stay around a little bit longer than the Colts, but he was kind of a big horse, a little bit hard on himself. But you're right. I mean, he's really, really made a big impact.
All right, fast and firm here as we get back to everything else that happened on this third Thursday already of the fall meet at Aqueduct. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 9 with Johnny I.
Field heads for home, 3/4 winning 1, 14 and 2. It's deep consideration. Splitting horses is Banco Dinero. On the outside is My Giant and Invisible Crown. My Giant, Banco Dinero, Invisible Crown on the outside. Those three bumping there in deep stretches. They come down for the wire. It's Banco Dinero and Invisible Crown, and Banco Dinero got to the wire first. Invisible Crown was second, My Giant third. Back to Amulet in fifth. Off the turn and into the stretch, and it's Nuff Said in front, and now opening up here. Nuff Said by 4. Winning for Sarah down at the rail. On the outside is Jubilant Vision with Star of the Forest in between horses. Nuff Said has plenty enough. She goes wire to wire here, really trounced this field. Winning for Sarah gets second, and it looked like Star of the Forest got third over Jubilant Vision. It's Nagging GG with Take a Bow, taking aim on Nagging GG. Nagging GG. Here's Take a Bow on the outside. Frizzetti is third down at the rail. Inside the 8th pole. Nagging GG. Take a Bow on the outside. Frizzetti down at the rail continues to gain a 16th out. Take a Bow. Frizzetti at the rail. Nagging GG hanging in there. They come for the wire. It was tight. Frizzetti may have gotten up in a photo with Nagging GG and Take a Bow. Lead over Gato Azul. Ali Sorrow down at the rail. Battles on, so 3 of them across the track. Mischievously farther back with Old Wick and Life's a Roar inside the 8th pole. Here's Gato Azul now to put ahead in front. Ali Sorrow down at the rail, not giving up. Copernicus is third. It's Gato Azul, Ali Sorrow, Gato Azul, Ali Sorrow. Gato Azul won it by a head over the favorite Ali Sorrow. Copernicus finished third. Now as the field comes into the stretch. Barrier to entry comes away with the lead as Kitty's Pearl drops out of it. Here's Weather Girl now up on the outside, and Tackiello is there. Tackiello and Weather Girl, and now those two are heads apart with Gimme Jimmy moving into third. Weather Girl pokes ahead in front, but Tackiello's trying to battle back again. On the outside, Weather Girl, Tackiello on the inside. They come for the wire. Photo finish. Photo finish in the finale between Weather Girl and Tackiello.
Tight photo when the last nose is up and down, and it was Javier Castellano Mig aboard Weather Girl, filly by one of your old favorites in Arty Schiller.
Arty Schiller gave me a lot of memories, and this filly was digging in, but how about the filly on the rail? Never gave up. And I thought at one point she might even come back and get the bob. It was a pretty exciting finish.
Tocchiello, very game. Steve Caceres had a few horses, as you noted, run well in defeat, losing a couple of tough ones today at the Big A. As we backtrack to race number 1, it's Thursday's second look with Cappy, and Mark Hennig's done some fine work so far, overtaking horses for Cortland Farm. Aqua Blinkers, here he comes splitting foes, and a very good ride from Junior Alvarado.
A terrific ride. Was able to find that seam, and, you know, we talk about it a lot. It's about trips on the turf, and when she worked out this kind of trip, it was all the difference, just finding that seam between horses. Thought it drifted out a little bit at one point and may have hampered the 10-horse just a bit, but not enough to, you know, warrant an inquiry, and got the money.
And brought home a bomb, 25-20, starting that pick 5 that paid over 12 G's for a deuce as Erod Ortiz sits alone in first with 13 victories. Javier Castellano, who set a new single earnings record just a few days ago, the star of the day with 3 victories. 9 races up, 9 different trainers took their pictures in the Aqueduct Winner's Circle. It was nice to see a varied cast getting it done today. And as far as the claiming action, on day number 13, it was nonstop from Andrew Lakeman in the first with Brevard, who didn't run well at around 6 or 7 of 5, all the way through Rockford, as David Jacobson was quite active, claiming at least 2 today, and he claimed the winner of race number 6 off Bruce Levine and Mike Rapoli for Bruce Golden for the old $25,000. A Friday preview at the Big A, and a future Breeders' Cup winner hints at extraordinary talent on the other side of this final timeout. There's our good buddy, Sal Tavano, doing his thing. We thank him for all those up-close and personal shots we get from the paddock, including 5-pound apprentice Eric Consell. We'll see Eric all weekend long. We hope you'll be playing the Big A all weekend long. $200,000 guaranteed late pick 4 here on Saturday. A couple of stakes on the program. The Arty Schiller for turf horses and the Notebook for New York-bred 2-year-olds, in which Pletcher and Rapoli have a pretty strong hand with Sudden Surprise and Spooked Out.
Well, now you're so good at trivia. How about Notebook? Who was his conditioner?
Who was his conditioner? A little before my time. Oh, D. Wayne trained Notebook, too.
Did a real good job with him, too. Santos had a lot of success with him.
That was when Santos was really rolling with D. Wayne, right?
Mid-80s. I can forgive you. You weren't really into the game
Yeah,
yet.
I'm pretty good. From Holy Bulls 2-year-old season on, I'm pretty good. Yeah. So if you want to fire another...
91 on?
That was 93. So if you want to come up with another question right now, I'm sitting here waiting.
No. Please, for me to come up with a question takes time.
All right, it's late in the day. Think about one for tomorrow's show, though.
Right,
we may have to open up the show with a nice mid-90s trivia question. Race number 5, we want to cash tickets tomorrow, and we got a pretty good rematch in the 5th between the 2 choices on the line, and awesome news and My 4 Chicks.
Well, the only person that wasn't anxious at this point in Saratoga on August 9th was conditioner Rick Schosberg, because he was running 1-2, and either way, he had it wrapped up. And this is basically the rematch. Awesome News has not been cited since his victory, where My 4 Chicks has run 2 more times. So we'll see if the layoff was a good or a bad thing.
And Lakeside Sunset looks to make amends for this loss at odds-on starting the fall meet. This was race 1 on day 1. She broke bad from the inside post, and that really hurt her.
Yeah, stumbled, bumped, and I really think it made a big difference, because she loomed up like she was going to get it and then kind of flattened out. So I'm sure that stumbling beginning took its toll on her that day.
And Slam Chowder, wet track. That could definitely be the case tomorrow with the heavy rain forecast through Thursday night. And Slam Chowder, you know, she's got no qualms if it comes up wet.
No, she should like it wet. Although this day it was an off-the-turfer. I don't know what she was beating. It was an all-out effort. I think she's going to have to pick up her game with the likes of Awesome News and My 4 Chicks in there.
And you know Rick Schosberg, a good buddy of mine and a heck of a trainer, a good buddy of ours, in fact, rooting for the Rangers. Looking for 10 in a row tonight.
Yeah, they've got 9 right now, so they're looking for 10. And, you know, I hope I make it home in time for the start of the game.
And you know you just want to stick it to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, well, they've been our Achilles heel, for sure.
They have. All right, should be a good one tonight with Lundqvist and Ben Bishop squaring off in the nets. Tapestry for Shug. We covered Bob Blett and her win today, and Shug will try Tapestry on the dirt tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, the surface switch is the question. She certainly has a pedigree that you would think she would handle it, but She's worked well on it, but it's interesting that Shug's never started her on it before. She's going to have to show me. I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach with this, although who am I to question Shug McGee?
Yeah, it's tough questioning Shug, and we won't question the rising class for Jeremiah Englehart, which just got out, who picks a nice little spot to try allowance foes.
Well, I thought she ran big enough here, and, you know, she's a filly that's got multiple wins. You know, she's going in an allowance condition, but she knows how to win, and I like those tough kind of rugged fillies, and I think she can handle the rising class.
This isn't the toughest day other than ever carded at Aqueduct for fillies and mares, and in addition to just got out, I would give the 2 New York breds, Lucky Nancy E and Perfect Freud, a look as well.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, we're looking at potential muddy or sloppy track tomorrow. You know she handles it. Disco Rico, he was a fast horse, Sitta Dancer. They all seem to like the mud as well. Breaks from the inside, which I don't think is a good thing coming out of the chute, but actually, Eric Cancel picks up the mount here, gets that 5-pound weight allowance, 119 instead of 124.
And always like hearing Disco Rico's name. He had some good battles with, say, Florida Sandy up and down the East Coast, as we have Maggie standing by with Friday's play.
Guys, well, staying dry inside as the showers have started, and taking a look at a scheduled dirt race just because of that. It's race number 1. It's for the 2-year-old boys, going a mile on the main track out of the chute. And number 7 is Verve's Tail in here for Barkley Tag, a second-time starter who will stretch out another furlong, which I expected for him to do. He's also going to get Lasix in his second career start. I think this guy, well, he might not be quite as good as your morning line favorite in here. I think he can make some noise, and just the further he goes, the better he'll get. And 2, I'm looking for him to be an even better 3-year-old. So I think there's a bright future for Verve's Tail, as he's your paddock insider for tomorrow. Jay, Mig, back to you guys.
Mig, let's end things. Arty Schiller, first time out. Take us through.
Number 9, white and yellow colors. Last now, kind of bumbled out of the gate, which Jimmy Jerkins and I both thought he would. And honestly, didn't think he could get up going 6, so we were hoping to get a good run into him, teach him something, Jason, and have him finish well. Now, you can see the way the field scattered out. Right before that, a horse had stumbled up near the lead, and I wind up on the far, far outside, and it looks like, as I'm just coming in the picture, it's a hopeless cause. But watch him run down this leader right on the money.
What was this like, sitting aboard a horse, moving the way he's moving right now?
Well, you know what? He was trying to lug in a little bit, and I'm trying to keep his attention and keep him going forward without correcting him, because you know we're going to get there late. But I knew he was a runner. That day, he told me he was going to be a real serious horse.
Breeders' Cup Mile winner in 2005. You won so many races for him, Timber Bay Farm and Jimmy Jerkins, and we'll have the Arty Schiller on Saturday. Pretty cool, going back to July 16th of 2003 in a front row seat with the Mig. What a good horse as we wrap up the show. We'll have the Mig, myself, and all of you, hopefully, on MSG Plus tomorrow night.